All right, we are recording now. So today I want to talk to you guys a little bit about storytelling. So let me share my screen because I made an amazing little, well, I think it was amazing, PowerPoint. Here we go. Screen share. All right, hopefully you guys can see that. So storytelling, why is it important to become a storyteller on social media? Well, we always hear the term stories sell. Facts, stories are what connects your audience to you, what draws them in, what connects them to the buying decision and tugs at their heartstrings. It puts them in the mindset of using your product or using whatever you're selling, and it connects them to you as a person. So the art of storytelling on social media becomes really, really important at displaying kind of who you are as a person, your personality, your brand, what you're all about, and it gives everything personality. It connects to people's both their mind as well as their heart, and it draws them in to want to do what you're doing. So storytelling and the art of storytelling, as you're talking about social media, a lot of times in our little box, our Plexus box, can kind of get lumped into just testimonies or just sharing business stories or experiences on the product. And what I want to show you guys today is it's actually everything you do. It's not even just one post. Over the course of weeks and weeks of posting, you're telling a story. But with each and every post, you tell little mini stories and you draw people in. You can continuously tell your story over and over and over again and connect with people on a human level. Because at the end of the day, whether you're selling shoes or whether you're selling solutions for healthcare, for health and happiness, like you are selling to people. So it is truly a transaction between two people, and connection has to be there for desire to purchase. So I'm going to get started on this little PowerPoint. Maybe, there we go. So the first things first, Simon Sinek is somebody that I have long read his books and everything like that. And he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. He's a very well-known author and a retired advertising executive. And so what he says, people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. That's that storytelling. That's that connection piece, right? So I wanted to start out with talking to you about this. So there are some people within Plexus, within our community, that are absolutely brilliant and have totally mastered the art of connection and storytelling through social media, both on Instagram and on Facebook and in their stories just throughout. Their stories are consistently woven throughout everything that they post. And Abby Kappa happens to be one of those that so brilliantly shares. I'm just going to read what her post says. It says, I flipped through all 180 pages while nursing my newborn, alone in every sense of the word. I set the heavy white binder to the side. What is this? I'm not this person. I don't do this sort of thing. Besides, my husband left me for 34 other women, his sex addiction. Why would anyone listen to what I would recommend about their health when my own life is obviously falling apart? I don't have time for this. No, I don't need this. I'm smarter than this. I will be a nurse, even though it means leaving my baby with somebody else. I will get a good job, even though it includes $200,000 in student school loan debt. But if you know me, then you know the truth. I didn't become a nurse. Instead, I simply told the truth about a health package that had produced results for me. And as it turns out, it works for other people too. I also got on social media at night when my baby was in bed, encouraged other women to tell the truth about what it had done for them, and this became a team of thousands and a six-figure income for my family. So now here's some truth for you. Every other day of the week, it costs $140 to start your own business, the same one that became a six-figure income stream for me. But today, that sign-up fee is free, which means it's $80. Yeah, okay, so here's what that actually means. You're $80 away from changing your sleep, your weight, your energy, and your immunity. $80 away from creating a revenue stream that equals becoming debt-free, giving like crazy, summer vacations, bills that are paid so that you can spend less time hustling and more time with your family. So don't let it be too late. Just pray for courage and then begin. You can figure out with the rest one other day. I'll be there to help you then. Okay, guys, so she is clearly telling a story. She is sharing her why over here in the beginning part of this. She is talking about why she even started. She's handling the objections through her story. She's putting her story in the mind of the reader, and it's interesting because she brings the drama. She brings the climax. I mean, her husband's sex addiction, how can you stop reading right then, right? So she's telling her truth. She's being authentic to herself, sharing what she did, but putting it in terms of vision casting. She is sharing right here. She is tackling every single objection and kind of stopping it before it even occurs, sharing her story about how she didn't become a nurse. And then what I love is she changes the tone. She puts it in you terms, you, which makes the person start envisioning themselves saying these words, not Abby Kappa saying these words. So this is huge because she is sharing the why, she's sharing the how, and at the end of it, she's sharing the what. But you guys, she shared the why of what she's doing, the how it happened, how she did it, how she stayed up late at night, worked her business. And then this particular post, you don't always get to the what in every story. This particular post, she shared the what because there was a special going on that she wanted to share. This was from a few weeks ago. So one of the big things with your stories is the why and the how are critically important. Those are the two things that you always, always, always want to share because those are the two that connect to you're communicating in feelings instead of communicating with their, cerebral part. You're communicating in feelings. So when you talk about the why and the how, you're communicating with feelings and dealing with human behavior. Storytelling is all about connection. The what, the product posts and the business posts, the how this compensation plan works and those kinds of things. Those are the what, right? Those salesy graphics and that kind of thing. There's a time and a place for them, but you've got to connect with somebody's heart before you can connect with that aspect. So you've got to start with the why and you've got to start with the how. Storytelling cannot happen without valuing and understanding your audience. You should always be listening and respond to your audience's wants and needs. So we have talked about this in our Instagram challenge on the very first day. So if you guys did not jump on board with that Instagram challenge, you guys go do day 1. And it talks about who is your ideal customer? What do they do? How old are they? What are their aspirations? What are their problems? What are their needs? Abby is one that is very, very definitely, if you read her post, she has a very strong desire to connect with the girl entrepreneur. She is trying to connect with the young mom, all female, definitely all female, with if you follow her post, which this doesn't have to be for you, I'm just using her post as an example here, but she has an ideal customer of a young mom, probably a stay-at-home mom or somebody trying to make ends meet by working a job but wants to stay home with their kids, okay? She has a very, very clear definition of who her target market is, who she's trying to reach with each of these posts. And so a really, really great thing for you guys to do is to sit down and to map this out. Give your ideal customer a name. Give your ideal customer what type of work do they do? Are they a teacher? Are they a nurse, a doctor? Are they a stay-at-home mom? Whatever that looks like. Are they male? Are they female? How old are they? Are they nearing retirement or are they in college? Those are two very different target audiences for you. And what I always say is when you try and cast a huge wide net and try and attract everybody in, you're going to attract nobody. But if you have a targeted idea of who you're trying to connect with, then here you go. And that's going to reach and connect. And it's going to also target your message. It gives your message more depth. And it gives you, instead of shooting in the dark and trying to figure out what the heck to post, you know who you're trying to talk to. So talk to them directly. And with those stories, and one thing that I love to tell everybody to do is with those in your virtual office, those leads you didn't know, that info sheet that you can download and print out, you guys, you don't have to fill that out like a list that you're going to go through and cold call. I love using that list for that, but also to simply map out who your network is. What are they all about? If you don't know, if you haven't figured out what your message is and where it needs to be directed to yet, that's a great place to start. Start writing down names of people in your life, your coworkers, your friends, your friends at school, whoever it is. Go through and write down all of those names, and that least you didn't know you had list kind of walks you through that mental process of figuring out who those people are. And then from there, figure out, okay, these are my people. These are the people I have in my network. Who do I need to be telling these stories to? Who do I need to be posting when I am posting to attract in other people? And you know what, guys? It's kind of funny. Like attracts like. More than likely, your ideal customer that you create, that person that you've given a name to and that you've described, is either you right now, you before Plexus, or a better version of you. That's usually where this all goes, right? Because you understand that type of person. You get it. That's who you've attracted into your network. They're probably similar in age, similar in stage of life, similar in their desires, their aspirations, that kind of thing. Because you can truly share your authentic self and bring those people in. So that's just something to think about as you're going through it. So your message needs a plan. Like I said, what stage are you currently in with your business? So are you somebody that just signed up today and you are introducing Plexus to your network? Are you someone that is established and has been here for 2, 3 years, 1 year, 5 years, whatever that looks like? Or are you somebody that has been here quite some time and is really needing to build new networks? So you're probably going back into that introduction stage again. Or you're jumping on a social media platform that you haven't been on before. Maybe Instagram, maybe this week has inspired you to jump on that. And so you're in that introduction phase. Be honest with yourself. Figure out where you're at, and that kind of changes. If you need to start with your story at the beginning and slowly share that story over the course of time with every single post, let people in. Let them understand kind of who you are and what this has done for you. What stage is your audience in? Are they just now becoming aware of Plexus? Are you the one introducing to them? Are they in the consideration phase, trying to figure out if this is something that they want to do? Or are they in the decision phase, ready to make that leap? That all defines the stories that you're going to tell. But what I loved about Abby's post and many other posts that I see is that she went from telling her story and telling it in first person to moving it over to second person and using that you language, vision casting with them, getting them thinking and saying the words in their mind gets them really excited about the possibility of doing Plexus, because when your mind is saying those words, you start to envision yourself being that person. What if I could be that girl that is staying up late at night and bettering myself, bettering our family's finances, and fitting this in where I need to? She laid that picture out really clearly of how she did it, and it made them start to think, you know what? I do have time. I could do this. So first person is more of a confessional story. It's your story. This helps you truly build influence and really, really just kind of gives you authority on your social media for what you're talking about. So sharing your story. And these little stories can be snippets, just little short stories all the time. It doesn't have to be your big, long testimony or big, long business, anything like that. Just little small stories that have a beginning, have that climax, some kind of drama, and have that ending. The second person is the story that includes your audience. These are great vision casters, addressing your audience directly by saying you. And this truly connects and kind of it's connection via empathy. And then the third person, this is where testimonials really come into play. So I've done a bunch of these recently, where I've shared conversations that I've had with people on the team and used that as the basis of a story that I was telling. But testimonials, that type of thing, situations highlighting our community and relaying conversations that we've had maybe in a book study or something along those lines. Those are all great. The first person and the second person are huge. The third person adds third-party validation. So I want to talk about that for a second. All of these three are very valuable in our storytelling and how we can use them on social media. That third person adds that third party validation. It lets them say, okay, so you've told your story, I'm envisioning myself in this as well, and now you're adding that third party validation. Let me talk to you guys a little bit about influence and 2 degrees of separation, okay? So some of you guys might be like, what on earth are you talking about? So many of you guys might be wondering, why does my family not jump on board with me? Why does my best friend not jump on board with me? What is going on there? Well, they need 2 degrees of separation for influence. So say you joined and like me, you were a stay-at-home mom. I had great influence when I started because I had long for years been posting about health and wellness. It was a passion of mine. Nutrition was a huge passion. But say I hadn't, right? Say I hadn't already built up that influence. The people closest to me, they know I have zero credentials, right? I am not a nurse. I am not a nutritionist. I am not anything like that. And so me suddenly starting to post about health and nutrition and supplementing and trying to be the authority on all of this, they'd be like, no, girl, what are you doing? You're a stay-at-home mom, right? So the strangers, though, are like, they automatically see it, and they don't know your history. They don't know your past, so you automatically have influence because of the words that you are saying at that current time. So when you are trying to gain influence with people that are close to you and you may not have influence with, this third-party validation can be super huge. It can be really big and just showing, hey, it's not just me that's saying this. These are people having success in this business. These are people having success on these products, okay? So 2 degrees of separation. Always think about that, and don't beat yourself up just because the people closest to you are not jumping on board with you, because it happens with everybody. Trust me, I still have many family members that have not jumped on board, even close family members. So one of the things I wanted to talk about and just show you guys a couple more examples of this, I mentioned when Abby directly addressed the people in the post, and it makes them start to vision cast with themselves. I wanted to give you some more examples of this. So Rebecca Folks is somebody I adore. She's a very close friend of mine, and I love following her on social media because she does such a great job of it, and she's such a good storyteller too. So what she writes in the first picture over here is, these ideas in your head, you should share them. That business you're thinking about starting, you should jump all in. Don't let the naysayers hold you back. You have to, well, she made a little typo though. You are too good to share, and the world needs to have what you have to offer. Drop an emoji if your business requires you to be brave. I want to cheer you on. Y'all, that post blew up for her on Instagram. Tons. You can see how many likes she got. She's pointing at them directly. She is addressing them head on, and then she is bringing a call to action. But it is a form of storytelling, and it is directly addressing them. So it's showing her personality. It is showing aspects of her business. It is showing that she has done that very thing she's commanding you to do, and she's calling for action. Huge. This one right here was when we went to Scottsdale, Arizona, and she snagged a picture of us after dinner. And then she wrote, she posted a quote, "The undeniable reality is that how well you do in life and business depends on not only what you do and how you do it, but it also depends on who is doing it with you or to you." Henry Cloud, The Power of the Other. And then she goes on to, again, address her audience. You would love this group of women, all crazy smart, hilariously funny, super driven, and open to trying something new. One of my favorite parts of gathering with other high-level people in Plexus is seeing the caliber of people the company has attracted. I tell people 2 things when they start this business. If you can set realistic goals and be patient, coupled with the ability to deal with people telling you no, sometimes we're in sales, it's going to happen and it's a-okay, you can go for it. I love what I do, I love who I do it with, and I'm always looking to expand my circle. Could this be a fit for you too? She ends on a question, call to action, but she's telling a story about our evening without just saying, hey, we met for dinner, went out, had drinks, you know, that kind of thing. She is painting a picture of what this community in Plexus has brought to her and filled the gaps. How many of us are desperate for a community? I was a stay-at-home mom when I started, and community was something I did not have. I felt very trapped in my 4 walls. So that type of post, and I was also somebody hugely achievement motivated, and I missed my job. And so something like that would have really tugged at me, and I would have been like, I want to surround myself with those kind of women. I want to surround myself with the high-level thinkers. But it was all addressed to the person reading it, so it made them start thinking about it. So you guys kind of starting to get what I'm talking about here? Let me move this. So tips for success. Your story needs emotional resonance. Emotion gives your story power. This is big. You want to create that emotional appeal. That is really, really big. Connect with people. The emotions connect. Now, here's another big deal. You don't want to be somebody you're not, okay? So I want to stop right here and want you guys to kind of think about things. So a lot of times we get on Instagram, we see all the pretty pictures, we see all the people that have put filters all over every single photo that they have customized to make every photo look the same color. Everything looks crazy, just professional. It's all full body shots and that kind of thing, and it's very put together pretty, and you're like, dang, man, she looks really, really cute every single day. If that connects to you, you do that. If the nitty gritty, the more real life posts, the more authentic stuff connects with you, you do that. You got to be consistent, and you got to stay true to yourself, and whatever you connect with is what's going to feel authentic when you put out that content, okay? So it's okay to take a different approach than what those 2 girls that I just showed you did, right? They are trying to reach maybe different audiences than you. It all goes back to, who are you trying to reach? What is your person? What is your quote unquote Julie, your perfect customer? What does she like? What would she be attracted to? Would she be attracted to the beautiful post pictures, the Instagram style influencer type posts? Or is she going to be attracted to the mom barely holding it together hot mess, right? Like, that's what you need to think about. But be clear, concise, do not get too wordy. Stories do not have to be 75 miles long. They can be short, and they can still have that impact, and it can be a part of the bigger story that you're showing on your Facebook, on your social media. So I'm going to end with this. Tell the truth, but make it fascinating. David Ogilvy, another advertising executive. This is the key to storytelling. Telling your true, authentic truth, but drawing people in and making them interested. Stories connect. When you are telling a story on social media, the reader's going to keep reading, and they're going to feel good. They're going to love it, right? So you could be educating, you could be inspiring, you could be sharing a testimony, you could be talking about personal development that you're doing, or talking about your day-to-day, your kids, whatever it is. Let them in and paint a picture that's consistent over time, because each post is woven together to tell your whole story, and you're just providing little snippets of that story along the way. So as you share your testimony, this is really key for people just starting out. You're not going to have a whole story in the beginning. And this training that I just did, this is why that's okay. You share your story over time in small little chunks, little digestible chunks, and it will have far more impact than one big long post that said you lost 50 pounds, right? All right, guys, love ya. Let me know if you have any questions. I will hop on and answer those right now. But happy Wednesday. Hope this was really helpful for you guys. Bye.